and I was intrigued, very intrigued by all this high-tech stuff and the effect on businesses. And listening to Richard talk about the effect that mobile phones and things have had on business, and that technology has given some more and different opportunities, I'm always interested to find that high-tech companies actually go offline deliberately. And I don't know whether anybody else read it, but I think, let me have a look. I think it was the Sunday Times this week, and a report organised by a company called Digital Detox. It's a report on offlining. Anybody heard of this? Offlining?
I've heard of that, and I've heard actually about the company. I'm not sure, one of the big companies, Google or something, in the States, in California, and they're doing a day when, for instance, they don't pick up emails.
Yes,
so
that's
it's kind
right.
of similar idea, isn't it? A little bit to cut off from the technology.
It is email-free Fridays as opposed to dress-down Friday. We have email-free Friday.
Yes.
I have an email-free week sometimes.
It's an email-free life, isn't it, Brian? You never respond.
I try. Thank you.
You say I go in the trash box. I keep telling him how to get me out the trash box, but he won't.
I don't know how to change that. Look, you should be very grateful that I can actually find you anywhere on the computer.
It seems funny that it's the techie companies that are doing this.
Exactly, because they know the dangers of this stuff. This is, it opens by saying, for 27-year-old Apple designer. Wow, you don't work for a more tech company than Apple. He's known to his companions on this offlining weekend as Fat Weasel. And it says the first night in the Californian woods without his iPad was a nightmare. I kept dreaming Steve Jobs was going to fire me, he confessed last week. And apparently self-described nerds have been going to summer camps organised for Silicon Valley high flyers who want to escape the smart devices they helped devise, and as it says, and then foisted on the rest of us.
So presumably, Mike, these people are paying quite a lot of money to actually have a weekend somewhere out in the middle of nowhere with nothing else, really. That sounds like a good business idea.
Less is more.
Absolutely.
It's like you can pay money, can't you, to have the badge taken off a car.
Yes, could we do this in Marlow somewhere? Up in Marlow Common, we could...
You've got a business idea, have you?
It's there. It's
Just
there.
Invite people to sit in silence.
Cut their hair while they're there.
No, you got the weir, all the sounds of the weir just by that. Fantastic.
Well, apparently what they do, what they give you for your money, apart from less, i.e. less technology, that you're asked to partake in giggling and breath-holding contests or poetry reading performances. Giggling.
I think it's fair to say, actually, that I've become a slave to the iPhone and sort of emails, and when I hear a ping, I tend just to go to the phone straight away.
Yeah.
But perhaps we don't need to get away. I just need to turn the phone off and put it on silence. And but I found, the faster technology gets, perhaps people send an email, and I tend to respond to it quickly. But you don't need to. There's got to be a time. It sits by the bed charging overnight, and I'm sure it could sit in the other room as well, although it's on silent.
Indeed, it talks here about the fact that there are quite a few people do have the urge to do emails whilst they're on the beach. And it's all about getting our lives and technology in the right balance and not letting the technology take over. I mean, when I was a senior manager, we didn't have emails. We did in the latter years of my
those
senior...
stone tablets, didn't you?
Almost. You had bits of paper. And my secretary would bring in these memos. Now, I was able to control them. I didn't look and respond to every memo as it arrived. I would manage my process. We don't do that with emails. We tend to think, I've got to respond now. So it takes over your time.
I think the word balance is the important thing, isn't it? And probably that's what we're all here about in our different industries, is about helping people get a balance in their lives. And it will hopefully happen for most people, but for many, perhaps not.
Well, there is an addiction. Well, this just to finish off this article. Remember, there's some guys making a business out of this, taking people away from this stuff. And what's really amazed me, they refer to surveys, more than one apparently, where they discovered that there are quite a lot of people would rather leave their spouses than their iPads at home when they go on holiday.
Oh,
Brian.
my God.
Brian.
No, it doesn't apply to any of us here.
You don't even have an iPad, so that's Joe's not at risk.
I don't know what an iPad is.
Right.